Some unit first chemistry. Some basic concept of chemistry. Chemistry is the science of molecules and their transformation. It is the science not to so much of the 100 elements but of the infinite variety of molecules that may be built from them. Objective. After studying this unit, you will be able to appreciate the contribution of India in the development of chemistry, understand the role of chemistry in different spheres of life, explain the characteristic of three states of matter, classify different substances into elements, compound and mixtures, use scientific notation and determine significance figure, differentiate between precision and accuracy, define SI base unit and converted physical quantity from the system of unit to another, explain various law of chemical combinations, appreciate significance of atomic mass, average atomic masses, molecular mass and formula mass, describe the terms of mole and molar mass, calculate the mass percent of component element constituent of a compound, determine empirical formula and molecular formula for a compound from the given experimental data and perform this stoichiometric calculation. आजकल हम लोग इंट्रोडक्शन लेक्चर बनाएंगे. Science can be viewed as a continuing human effort to a systematic knowledge for describing and understand nature. You have learned in your provision classes that we can across diverse substances present in nature and change in them in daily life. Curd formation from milk, formation of vinegar from a sugarcane juice on keeping for a prolonged time, and rusting of iron are some of the examples of change which we can across many times. For the sake of convention, science is subdivided into various disciplines: chemistry, physical biology, geology, etc. The branch of science that study the preparation, property, structure, and reaction of material substance is called chemistry. Development of chemistry. Chemistry, as we understand it today, is not a very old discipline. Chemistry was not studied for its own sake. Rather, it came up as a result of a research for two interesting things. Philosopher stone paras, which would convert all baser metals, iron and copper, into gold, auxiliary, which have grabbed immortally. People in ancient India already had the knowledge of many scientific phenomena much better before the advent of modern science. They applied that knowledge in various work of chemistry, developed mainly in the form of alchemy and electrochemistry. It took chemistry during 30,000 to 16,000 CE, modern chemistry to shape in the 18th century Europe after a few centuries of a chemical tradition which were introduced in Europe by the Arabs. Other cultures, especially the Chinese and the Indian, had their own alchemical traditional. They included much knowledge of chemical process and technique. In ancient India, chemistry was called Rasayana Shastra, Rasayan Shastra, Rasayanant, Raskriya, Rasvidya. It is induced metallurgy, medicine, manufacturing of cosmetic, glass, dye, etc. Systematic excavation of Mohenjo-daro in Sindh and Harappa in Punjab prove that the story of development of chemistry in India is very old. Archaeologically findings show that baked bricks were used in construction work. It shows the mass of production of poetry, which can be regarded as the earliest chemical process in which a material were mixed, molded, and subjected to heat by using fire to achieve desirable quality. Remains a glazed pottery have been found in a Mohenjo-daro. Gypsum cement has been used in the construction work. It contains lime, sand, and traces of CaCO. Harpans made of fanice, a sort of glass which was used in ornaments. They melted and forged a variety of objects from a metal such as lead, silver, gold, and copper. They improved that hardness of copper for making artifacts by using tin arsenic. A number of glass objects were found in Makski in South India, 1000 to 1900 BCA, and Hastinapur and Taxila in North India, 1000 to 200 BCA. Glasses and glazes were colored by addition of coloring agents like a metal oxide. Copper metallurgy in India dates back to the beginning of a Chalcolithic culture in the subcontinent. There are much archaeological evidence to support the view that the technology for extraction of copper and iron were developed indigenously. According to Rigveda, tanning of literature and dyeing of cotton were practiced during 1000 to 400 BCE. The golden gloss of the black polished ware of northern India could not be replicated and is still chemical mystery. These were indicate the mystery with which in clean temperature could be controlled. Kautilya Arastu described the production of salt from sea. A vast number of statements and material described in the ancient Vedic literature can be shown. The agrees with modern scientific finding. Copper utensils, iron, gold, silver ornaments, and terracotta discs and painted grey pottery have been found in many archaeological sites in North India. Susukta Samhita example the importance of alkalis. The Chakra Samhita mentioned in ancient Indian who knew how to prepare sulfuric acid, nitric acid, and oxide of copper, tin, and zinc. The sulfate of copper, zinc, and iron and the carbonates of lead and iron. Rasophanicida describe the preparation of gunpowder mixture. Tamil text also describe the preparation of fireworks using sulfur, charcoal, saltpetre, that is a potassium nitrate, mercury, camphor, etc. Nagarjuna was a great Indian scientist. He was a reputed chemist, an alchemist, and a metallurgist. His work, Rashtrankar, deals with the formulation of mercury compound. He also discovered method of the extraction of metal like gold, silver, tin, and copper. A book, Ras Rasarnam, appeared on 1200 CE. It discussed the uses of various furnaces, oven, and a crucible for different purposes. It described the method by which metal could be identified, flame, color. Chakrapani discovered mercury sulfide. The credit for inventing soap also goes to him. Ingredients for making soap. Indians began making soaps in the 18th century CE. Oil of Eranda and seeds of mahua plant and calcium carbonate were used for making a soap. The painting found on the walls of Ajanta and Ellora, which look fresh even after ages, testify to high level of scientific achieved in ancient India. Brahmamihir Brihat Samhita is a sort of encyclopedia which was composed in the 16th century. Scene informs about the preparation of glutinous material to be applied on walls and a roof of a house and a temple. It was prepared entirely from the extract of various plant fruit, seeds, and barks, which were concentrated by boiling and then treated with the various resin. It will be interesting to test such materials scientifically and assess them for us. इंट्रोडक्शन हो गया, कल हम लोग चैप्टर को स्टार्टिंग करेंगे.